Why are planets round? Do you know that most of the matter in the solar system is not in stars or planets? It's in a giant cloud of dust and gas between Mars and Jupiter called the asteroid belt. These objects range in size from Vesta, which is nearly 329 miles or 530 kilometers across, to bodies only a few feet wide. But have you ever noticed that none of them are round? Why aren't asteroids round? We'll tell you about it in this video. But first, like and subscribe for more space videos. Thanks for your support. The reason planets are round is because of gravity. Gravity pulls equally from all directions toward the center of a planet. On Earth, this force is strong enough to overcome all other forces such as the planet's rotation and the pressure of its atmosphere. As a result, Earth is an oblate spheroid, meaning it's slightly wider at the equator than at the poles due to centrifugal force caused by Earth's rotation. However, other forces such as tectonic plate movement can cause mountains, valleys, and other surface features. Asteroids, on the other hand, are much smaller than planets and their gravity is much weaker. In fact, if you were on an asteroid, you would weigh much less there than on Earth. This is because the strength of gravity depends on the mass of the object and how far away it is. The further away you are from the center of an object, the weaker the gravity. Since asteroids are much smaller than planets, their gravity pulls less strongly on rocks near their surface. In addition, asteroids rotate faster than planets, so centrifugal force is greater on them. As a result, asteroids are not round, but have irregular shapes. In addition to the rotation speed, the material properties also affect the shape of the body. For example, if an asteroid is made of hard and brittle material, it will crack and break into many small pieces instead of being round. In contrast, if an asteroid is made of soft and ductile material, it will deform under its own gravity and eventually become round. This process is similar to how a snowball forms when you roll it over the snow. The snow at the bottom of the ball compresses and becomes denser, while the snow at the top is pushed outward, forming a round shape. However, there is one more factor that affects the shape of an asteroid, and that's the number of collisions with other objects. If an asteroid collides with another object, it can change its shape, depending on the angle and speed of the collision. For example, a glancing blow from a fast-moving object can knock a chunk off an asteroid, while a head-on collision with a slow-moving object may simply bounce off the surface. Asteroids that have been hit by other objects often have long, thin tails of dust and gas extending from their surfaces. These tails can be hundreds of kilometers long and are visible from Earth using a telescope. The asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter is full of bodies that have not been round since the early days of the solar system, when our solar system was young. There were many more asteroids than there are now. Most of the asteroids were destroyed by collisions with each other and with the planets. The largest asteroid, Ceres, was captured by Jupiter's gravity and became the first dwarf planet discovered in the asteroid belt. Another large asteroid named Hygiea is thought to be the second dwarf planet in the asteroid belt. However, it has not been officially recognized yet. One of the main reasons why asteroids haven't been round is that they are very far apart from each other. There are millions of asteroids in the asteroid belt, but the distance between them is so great that they do not affect each other's shape. Also, asteroids are mostly made of rock and metal, which is not easily deformed. This means that asteroids can collide with each other without changing their shape. In addition, the gravitational pull of the Sun and the planets does not affect the shape of asteroids because they are too weak compared to the cohesive forces within the asteroids. Cohesion is a force that binds atoms or molecules together in a solid object. For example, the bonds between the iron atoms in a piece of iron give it its shape. You may think that the Sun's gravity should make asteroids round because it pulls equally from all directions. However, the Sun's gravity is not strong enough to overcome the cohesion of asteroids. This is because the Sun's gravity depends on the mass of the Sun and the distance between the Sun and asteroids. Since asteroids are very far away from the Sun, its gravity is very weak. To make an asteroid round, the Sun's gravity must be stronger than the cohesive forces within the asteroid. However, this is not possible unless the Sun were much closer to the asteroids. Another reason why asteroids haven't been round is that they don't have a dense atmosphere. An atmosphere is a layer of gases surrounding a planet or other celestial body. The Earth's atmosphere is mostly nitrogen and oxygen, and it's about 100 kilometers thick. The atmosphere is important for making Earth round because it's much less rigid than solid rock. This means that the atmosphere can flow around the Earth and make it more spherical. Asteroids don't have a thick atmosphere, so they don't have this effect. Of course, there are some exceptions. For example, the asteroid Eros has a tail of dust and gas that extends several kilometers from its surface. This tail is not very thick, but it's still more of an atmosphere than most asteroids. However, it's not dense enough to make Eros round. Also, the reason why planets are round but not asteroids is that they form differently. Planets formed from giant clouds of gas and dust that collapsed under their own gravity. As the cloud collapsed, it spun faster and faster until it became flat and disc-shaped. The material in the disk was hot and under high pressure, so it was forced to form a smooth, round shape. Asteroids, on the other hand, formed from the leftover material that did not collapse into a planet. They are much smaller and have irregular shapes because they were not formed by the same process as planets. There are some asteroids that have been slightly rounded by collisions with other objects, but they are very rare. Most asteroids are still in their original shapes from billions of years ago. In fact, studying the shape of an asteroid can help scientists learn more about its composition and structure. By analyzing how an asteroid reflects light, scientists can determine its color and texture. They can also study the way an asteroid rotates to learn about its mass and density. Scientists believe that studying asteroids could also help them find resources that could be used to support human life in outer space. Asteroids contain many minerals and metals that are valuable on Earth. For example, platinum, gold, and diamond are found in asteroids. Some asteroids also have water ice and organic compounds that could be used to produce fuel, oxygen, and food for astronauts. In conclusion, the reason why planets are round and not asteroids is because of the difference in their size, mass, gravity, and rotation speed. Planets are much larger and more massive than asteroids, so they have stronger gravity and slower rotation speeds. This makes it easier for them to form a round shape. Asteroids, on the other hand, are smaller, less massive, have weaker gravity, and rotate faster. This makes it difficult for them to form a round shape. Instead, they remain in irregular shapes that are often the result of collisions with other objects. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe for more videos about space. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.